Hey everyone, today we'll be talking about a topic that many may not be fully aware of, but it is essential to understand. Annulment of a marriage in Singapore. We'll cover what annulment is, the legal grounds for it, and some common misconceptions that might lead people to misuse this legal remedy. Stick around for a quick but thorough dive into annulment under the Women's Charter. To start, let's clarify what annulment actually is. Unlike divorce, which ends a legally valid marriage, an annulment is a legal declaration by the court that a marriage is void. Essentially, annulment erases the marriage, making it as if the marriage never existed. Annulment is much rarer than divorce, and it's only granted under specific circumstances. Under the Singapore Women's Charter, there are certain specific grounds for annulment. Number 1, non-consummation of the marriage due to incapacity or refusal. This is a critical ground for annulment in Singapore. What does consummation mean? It means you didn't have sex after the marriage. If both parties had sex before the marriage and then they get married, but they didn't have sex after the marriage, that is called non-consummation. Second ground for annulment, lack of consent, where one party was forced into the marriage or there was some mistake in understanding the nature of the marriage. Third ground for annulment, mental disorder, making one party incapable of consenting to the marriage. The fourth ground for annulment, venereal disease or pregnancy by another man at the time of the marriage, both of which are grounds under very particular circumstances. These are valid grounds for annulment. Each one requires convincing evidence and proving them isn't simple. Now here's an interesting point. Some people may see annulment as a way to end a marriage quickly without waiting for the minimum 3-year period required for divorce in Singapore under the Women's Charter. Imagine a couple marries only to discover soon after that they are deeply incompatible or that one party has been unfaithful. Understandably, they might want to end things right away, but the law requires 3 years of marriage before filing for a divorce, unless exceptional hardship or depravity is involved. So they might be tempted to apply for annulment as a shortcut, using it as a backdoor way to divorce. But here's the catch. The courts are aware of this. Judges at the family justice courts are highly aware of people trying to use annulment as a quick escape from marriage. When a couple files for annulment, they must prove that their case genuinely meets the specific legal grounds we just discussed. For example, if a person claims non-consummation, the court expects clear, compelling evidence of this. The burden of proof is high, and rightly so. Judges won't accept annulments lightly. Claims of incapacity, lack of consent, or even non-consummation must be proven to a high standards. For those thinking of using annulment as a quick fix, know that attempting to deceive the court can backfire. Judges are looking for concrete proof, and any attempt to fabricate evidence or twist the facts could be deemed contemptuous. So, what's the takeaway? Annulment is not a loophole for a quick exit from a regrettable marriage. While it's naturally to want to get out of a marriage when it's not working, the law sets these standards to protect the integrity of a marriage as an institution. Annulment isn't meant for situations where two people have simply drifted apart or discovered that they aren't compatible. In most cases, divorce is the intended legal route, even if it means waiting for the minimum required time. In Singapore, our courts approach annulments with care, ensuring that only those cases that genuinely meet the criteria are approved. If you or anyone you know is considering an annulment, it's crucial to understand that the courts will look for evidence that aligns with the specific grounds under the Women's Charter. Thank you for watching. I hope this clarifies annulment in Singapore and why it's not an easy alternative to divorce.